You've got people screaming, hollering, you've got blood, you've got broken bone, you've got people that are deceased.
Tonight on Fox 24 News, a new law helping law enforcement officers with PTSD. Hear from a man who says this is helping people like him. And a car crashing into an Odessa home after what witnesses say was another car speeding around a curb. Learn what we know straight ahead.
Plus, we are continuing to track some of those storms developing out there this evening. All the latest on whether some wet weather could be heading your way coming up.
Live with a look at your basin. This is Fox 24 News, first at 9 in HD.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us for Fox 24 News, first at 9. I'm Dawn Log. Our top story tonight, first responders in Texas will now have access to workman's comp benefits for PTSD. Our Tyler Wessner joins us live in the studio with the story tonight. Tyler?
That's right, Dawn. Governor Abbott signed House Bill 1983 into law Thursday, and the bill will take effect on September 1st of this year. Now, I caught up with a man who this law applies to directly, Howard County Volunteer Fire Department Chief Tommy Sullivan. He's a first responder of PTSD and says this is greatly needed. Midland County Sheriff Gary Painter sharing his thoughts on the law with us as well, saying some members of his office still feeling the effects of Deputy Mike Naylor's killing in 2014.
People don't realize that the things that we see in our duties, you can never unsee. In 33 years, I cannot tell you how many lives I saved. But as of today, I have lost 279 souls. So, you know, I live with that every day.
A first responder rolling up to a fire or an accident where you've got people screaming, hollering, you've got blood, you've got broken bone, you've got people that are deceased. And they have to handle that and handle the people.
Now, this bill was introduced back in February of this year, and 4 months later, it's now signed into law. Live in the studio, Tyler Wessner, Fox 24 News, first at 9.
That brings us to your election news. A West Texas representative back home after a long legislative session. Brooks Landgraf stopping by our studios to talk about session. He says while legislation like the Sanctuary Cities bill created a huge divide, a lot of progress was made. Another controversial law, the so-called bathroom bill, coming back up in special session. Landgraf says he's happy with the version passed in the House.
You know, I come from West Texas. I was born and raised here. And for my entire life, everybody out here seems to have known which bathroom to use. So it doesn't seem like a big issue for us out here. And so I've never had that at the top of my priority list.
Landgraf also telling us that he will be running for re-election. Yesterday, Governor Greg Abbott signing a statewide texting and driving ban into law. It'll make it illegal to use wireless devices while behind the wheel starting in September. And new phone features are rolling out to make that task easier. We've learned Apple will introduce an iPhone feature called Do Not Disturb while driving. The feature will withhold any notifications for texts and other updates while the car is moving, and the screen will lock to prevent drivers from using other apps. Passengers who are not driving can disable the feature. And the Texas Department of Transportation launching their Text Crash Distracted Driving Prevention campaign this week. The agency holding a conference Tuesday in Austin where Stacy Riddle, a Texas mother who lost her 2 daughters in a distracted driving related crash, shared her experience.
This hurts so much because it was something that could have been avoided. Had the driver only paid attention to driving, that she only focused on what she was doing.
The new texting and driving ban will go into effect September 1st. A car crashing into a home in North Odessa. It happened here on Rainbow Drive just over an hour ago. Here's a look at the scene. Witnesses telling our crews the crash happened after a car was speeding around the curve of the street, causing the car to become airborne when hitting a curb. They then struck a truck in a driveway, forcing the truck into the garage of a house. We're told not too much damage was done inside the home. Police could not confirm if there were any injuries. Chief Meteorologist John Mayer joining us now for our Fox 20 forecast. A beautiful day, John.
And not too bad, though we do have at least a handful of those storms starting to develop for us right now, especially right here in the basin. Hey, it's basically right along I-20. This is the one spot where we're seeing some of that activity just north of Midland. Get ready. Might see a couple of these showers, some light storms moving through. Not exactly something that's going to last very long. This has been fizzling out for us as it's drifted further and further to the south. But this isn't the only activity we're talking about. Just after midnight, that's when we get a chance for another round of storms. And this could be where we see some severe weather developing. Of the latest on exactly what you can expect coming up in my full forecast.
Live broadcasts for Friday night football games could be coming to a TV screen near you. The UIL plans to discuss a proposal next week that would allow high school football games in Texas to be broadcast live on television. The Dallas Morning News reports that currently regular season games can only be telecast if they are on a 1-hour tape delay or played on a day other than Friday. And to learn more about these changes the UIL is considering and the current rules in place, you can read about it on our website, yourbasin.com. Last week, the city of Monahans covered with vandalism, and it continued today. The vandalism happened near the 1400 block of South Allen Street. Multiple objects were spray painted, including a brand new fence. The Monahans Police Department says that they are taking extra measures to stop this from happening again.
We're certainly patrolling residential areas very closely. We're spending some time blacked out, which means driving around without lights on to not on the roads, but in alleys and stuff.
The police department emphasized that no matter who it is, high schooler or gang member, the suspect will be brought to justice. And good news for Midland, the police department telling us that more serious crimes are on the decline from this time last year. The FBI reporting a 32% drop, with 672 of these crimes reported from January to March of this year. That's down more than 300 during that same time last year. Meanwhile, both Midland and Odessa topping the list when comparing sales tax revenue allocation from June of this year and last year. State Comptroller Glenn Hager saying Odessa took the top spot for percentage of change with a 28% growth. Midland coming in second with 17%. The State Comptroller talking about this growth in the basin, saying, quote, the cities of Round Rock, Frisco, San Antonio, Midland, and Odessa saw a noticeable increase in sales tax allocations. The cities of Houston and Austin saw small decreases. And you don't want to miss this 100-year-old man decided to do. Some youngsters wouldn't even have the guts to do this. Check it out after the break.